giving you an opportunity to get the full story from the people who tell it best. This is Mediacom Newsleaders.
Okay, this segment's about food, but how you should eat food the right way, mindfully. That's our big word here because we have a friend here. First time on the show, Lynn Rossy. Welcome to Newsleaders.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
This is the month of January. You've got a lot of things going on later this month. We'll get to shortly. You're a health psychologist.
Yes.
I like that title.
I like
you
that
don't
title
normally
too.
hear that title.
No, you don't.
Health psychologist.
I made it up, really. No, I really am a health psychologist. So I was a clinical psychologist who specialized in health interventions. So I became a health psychologist.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you wrote a book called The Mindfulness-Based Eating Solution. Why don't you hold your book up to that camera over there?
Oh.
There you go.
There we
That's
go.
your book.
That's my book.
How long has the book been out?
Came out in 2016. Yeah. So it started out as a class, actually. So I developed a class at the University of Missouri called Eat for Life. And then I did some research on the class and published the research in an academic journal. And then I thought, well, if it's good for people at the University of Missouri, it'd be good for a wider audience.
The world.
The world. Actually, it is gone out to the world. So I decided to put it into a book form, a lot of the concepts that are in the class, and got published in 2016. And it's been actually done really well. People all over the world are reading it. I have people in my classes from everywhere. I had 2 people from Shanghai last time.
Interesting.
Yes.
You're saying the right thing then.
Yes. Well, I just went to Brazil to teach people down there to teach mindful eating.
So Eat for Life, mindful eating, they play a great, they're connected.
They are. So I teach mindful eating in my Eat for Life class. And so what I found was when I taught the Eat for Life class to people, we looked at a control group and the experimental group, the people that got the intervention. And so people that got the intervention decreased binge eating or, eating, too much, overeating. And then they also increased on mindful eating, they increased in intuitive eating, and they increased in body appreciation. So we know that when you appreciate your body more, you're likely to treat it better, right?
Yeah, but you have to think about that all the time, don't you? It has to be in your mind.
Well, so that's the beauty of mindful eating. So I just read a Huffington Post article that said, of all of the New Year's resolutions that you should make, mindful eating is going to be the least successful. And so I wrote the person actually that said that, and I said, well, then you need my book. Because if you would practice mindful eating, if you would practice mindfulness, which is the act of being present on purpose without judgment, then you're more aware of when you're eating, how much you're eating, why you're eating. The why is usually very important, and where you're eating. All of those things you're very conscious about. What we usually do is we unconsciously eat. We don't pay any attention, right? My hand meets my mouth really easily, and I don't even have to be paying any attention to it. But if I consciously take my attention to the food and go, is this food I even want to eat? What's in it? Is this food that I would want to put into my precious body? Maybe, maybe not. I also check beforehand to see if I'm even hungry. Right? Don't you eat when you're not hungry?
Yes, all the time.
All the time.
We just came from the Christmas season.
Right.
It happens all the time.
So the thing is like mostly you want to eat when you're physically hungry because there's a couple of reasons to eat.
But that's no fun.
Yes, it is. It can be fun. So it can be fun,
Okay.
and that's what you learn in the class. You want to eat so that you can nourish the body. That's the main reason to eat, right, is to keep the body alive and healthy.
Yeah.
And you want to have pleasure in eating. Those 2 things can go together. Believe me, I put them together all the time. I love to eat. This is one of the reasons why I like to teach this class, is because I like to teach people the pleasure of eating food that's actually healthy for their body. And when you start paying attention, you start to realize the food that's highly processed and that's got a lot of fat and sugar doesn't even taste good. You just haven't been paying attention. Yeah.
So you mean I might get to the point where this homemade chocolate really doesn't?
Well, no, there's nothing wrong with homemade chocolate. It's like how much of it do you want to eat, right? A little bit of it's great. A lot of it doesn't.
But you start on this stuff.
And you're not paying attention, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're not paying attention, you will overeat it because it has that kind of come back for me, come back for more quality to it, right? But if you're paying attention, you can say, oh, a couple of bites was perfectly fine.
I mean, being mindful.
Yes.
Mindful.
Yes.
So that's
the
key.
And so my research showed that the more you practiced mindfulness, the more that your mindfulness increased, the better your results. right? That's why I teach people how to do formal mindfulness practices during the class, and then they can take that to the dinner table. But the secret about this book is it's not just about eating, it's about your entire life. Because your entire person shows up at the dining table.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So if you're stressed from the day, and you come to the dining table, I just saw this last night, in fact, and you come to the dining table, you might just be going at that pace that you were all day, and you're just shoveling in the food, and you're not paying attention.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So you have to slow down, you have to savor, you have to chew, you have to really experience eating, and you'll have so much more pleasure out of it when you do it that way.
Okay, we're just about out of time.
Okay.
Go ahead and mention what you got this month.
Okay, so this month at Alley Cat Yoga Center, I have a workshop, 2-hour workshop. If you just want to put your little toe into the water, you can come for 2 hours on Saturday, January 26th, Alley Cat Yoga, and it'll be an introduction to mindful eating. The next week, starting that Monday in the evenings from 6:30 to 8:30, I have an online live 10-week class starting. I also am teaching it at Tuesday at noon from 12 to 2. So you have two opportunities to take the class. It's 10 weeks, it's online, it's live, it's over the Zoom platform, which means that we can all see each other and interact with each other when we're taking the class, which is really nice.
The website's lynnrossy.com, 424-9506 for more information.
And January is World Mindful Eating Month. Go to the centerformindfuleating.org and find out more about that.
You got to come back and see me.
I know.
So much to talk about. Lynn Rossy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to you.
Okay, Happy New Year.